Hi everyone. I had some extra items sent to me from Gina's Designs, so that I thought I'd do a little bonus project for you guys. I wanted to make some embellishments using some of the gorgeous things that she sent me. She sent me some dress forms. There's 4 different kinds. I'll be using 3 of them today. And she has laser cut doilies, cardstock doilies, and they come in different shapes, designs, and they're just absolutely gorgeous. Look how intricate they are. So I pulled out the items that I want to use, and I'm going to go ahead and get some other supplies together, and then I'll be right back, and we'll start this little process video. Alright, thanks. I'll be right back. Okay, I have pulled out a few items that I want to use on this first project. The first one's I'm gonna use this little dress form here and the little doily, this one here, and I just pulled out some scratch paper, some ink pads, some embossing powder. I'm going to emboss the dress form, and I'm going to just add some ink to the doily. So I'm just going straight from ink to the doily and hope it turns out. I'm using Memento rhubarb stalk and desert sand. And let me just zoom in so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm hoping this is going to turn out. I haven't used these doilies before, so I'm not sure, but I'm going to try. So underneath I just have a piece of scratch paper to, you know, so I don't get ink all over my mat. And let me just start with the lightest color first. You always want to do that when you're mixing colors because you don't know, you don't want to cross-contaminate your ink pads, so always start with the lightest color first. And I'm just gonna swirl it on like so, you know, just in random spots. It kind of looks like I'm doing the whole thing, but maybe I'll be doing random spots with the rhubarb. I really like this color, the desert sand. Don't be afraid to get your fingers in there and get inky. That's what having fun is all about, right? If you don't have ink on you, you didn't do a good enough job. I'm just kidding. So I'm just kind of trying to even out the color a little bit. So I'm happy with the way that looks so far. And so I'm going to go in with the rhubarb next and just add a few touches of the rhubarb around, probably just around the edges. I'm thinking. I don't know. Let's kind of see what happens. Let's just start just a little bit at a time. Maybe I will just do the edge with it. I really like the way those colors look together. So, like I said before, well, I think I said it before, I'm just going to make some embellishments that I can later use on cards or, you know, on altered projects or something to that effect. Add a little of the rhubarb to the center. I like these little ink pads too because they have the pointed top, so it makes it really easy to get into the small areas. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's supposed to look, you know, mixed together. So I'm pretty pleased with the way that looks. So let me hold it up so you can see it. Okay. What do you guys think? You like that so far? Okay, I'm liking it. So I'm going to set this aside to dry, and next I'm going to do some embossing. I have I pulled out Martha Stewart embossing powder. This is, it doesn't have a name on it, but it's like a turquoise color. So I'm going to do the dress form in that. So I have another piece of scratch paper here that I have folded in half. Okay, and I'm just going to pull out my, well, let me get some of the ink off my fingers. I'm going to pull out my anti-static dust. I can't think of the name of the tool. You'll know what it is when I show it to you. It's this thing. You know, it just has powder inside of it, and so you go over your you know, the paper your embossing powder is going to land on, and the piece that you're embossing. And the reason you want to do that is to remove any oils from your hands, and you know, any dirts and things like that, so the embossing powder will stick better and only to the places that you want it to stick on. So I've used my little powder bag there. So next I'm going to grab my Versamark ink. So let me grab that. Okay, so all you do is add your Versamark ink to your project, and this one is a wood piece, so I'm gonna just put it on my pad and press to make sure I get some good coverage with it. Okay, that looks pretty well covered, so I'm going to just take it off of the pad, close my ink pad up. Now I have embossing ink on my finger, so I'm going to wipe that off really quick so that I don't have too much embossing powder sticking to my fingers. Okay, and then we're going to take our embossing powder and we're just going to I'm going to use my tweezers. Where can I hold it at? Down here at the bottom. And then if I have to go over that spot again, I will. But just sprinkle on your embossing powder. Use a generous amount. You're going to pour whatever's on the paper back into your container anyway, so there's not any waste. So don't even worry about that. A little bit up there. Okay. So then you're going to just tap it off. Tap off the excess. You don't want excess powder on there because it won't look good. So that looks pretty good to me. So next I'm going to lay this down while I pour my embossing powder back into my little container. And all I do by doing that is I take the lid off and I carefully pick up my paper. Get all the paper into the center crease, and then just pour it right into the bottle. So there's really virtually no waste. I mean, you're gonna have a little bit, but you know, no big deal. So there's that. Okay, and then next I'm going to do the actual embossing. So I'm gonna need my heat tool, and this is gonna get a little bit loud, so I apologize for that in advance. So I'm just going to do this right. Let me get my cord unstuck. I'm just going to do this right here so you guys can see the change. And again, I'm sorry about the noise. Just let it get nice and hot. You want to always keep your heat gun moving so that you don't burn your piece or burn the embossing powder. And once it starts changing, it'll change quick, and you can see it starting to change. Now it's getting shiny. Just keep moving your heat gun so that it embosses the entire piece. And there's that. We are embossed. So now I'm just going to lay it down over here to cool. Turn off my heat gun so you guys can hear me again. So we have our embossed piece and we have our doily. Let me pull that back over here into frame so you can see what we're working on here. Our doily, our embossed piece, and I'm just going to let that dry. So let's see. I'm going to pause the video for a minute so I can go and run and get a few more supplies so that we can finish up this project, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, I'm back, and this is what the finished product is going to look like. I just put it on my non-stick mat so that I could use my hot glue without getting glue all over the place. So I'm going to try to recreate this here. So first thing that needs to go down is the feather. So I'm just going to put a small dab of glue on the feather right at the end there. Just a little bit. You don't need a lot. And then it's just going to go right like that and just press it down. Okay, next element that's going on is the dress form. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the back, not too much. You don't want it to show through on the other side, and if it does, you can always remove the glue strings and things. You guys know how to use a glue gun. At least I think you do. Alright, so a little bit of dab of glue there, and we're going to put that offset kind of like that. And then let's see, I gotta try these flowers one more time and see what I'm doing here. I'm gonna go 2 and 3, and I'm trying to keep everything off to the left so that you can still see that pretty doily showing through there. So I kind of like that right there, so I'm going to just pull these off and glue them on. No, you know, big history lesson here. You guys know how to do that. I feel like I'm not really teaching you guys anything, but you know, I enjoy doing these types of videos every now and then, you know, just to kind of chit chat with you guys and, you know, share, you know, some of the things that I'm working on and that sort of thing. So I hope you guys enjoy these videos as much as I enjoy making them. I'm just gonna push those down, make sure that they're on there good. Okay, and last but not least is the darker turquoise colored rose. And we'll stick that right there on the edge. He just barely fits, but he looks good. What do you guys think? I kind of like it. I think that'd be a great element for a card or you know, cigar box or anything else that you need an embellishment for. So that's that one, and the other one I decided I'm going to do in a separate video, so stay tuned for that. I just don't want to make the videos too awful long because people don't tend to watch them if I make them long. But there you have it, just a real simple embellishment using Gina's Designs products and a couple products out of my stash. And let me get this off my mat and I'll give you a nice close-up of it there. Isn't that gorgeous? You know, and I never thought that this color combination would go well together, but this is actually a color challenge that they're having on Gina's Designs Facebook page for the month of January. So if you want to check that out, you can. Just search Gina's Designs on Facebook and you should be able to find her. So there you go, a little simple embellishment. Thank you all for watching. I so appreciate it. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I'll be back with more videos. Have a good one. Bye-bye.